Welcome back to Real-ationship Goals, a podcast all about exploring the realities and complexities of healthy relationships. Real-ationship Goals is a project of the Prevention and Education team at the Advocacy Center for Crime Victims and Children in Waco, Texas. If you or someone you know has experienced sexual violence or harassment and is seeking support services or needs more information, links to resources and our hotline number can be found in the description. The views expressed in this podcast are those of the hosts and guests and do not necessarily reflect those of their organizations or affiliates. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Real-ationship Goals. My name is Monica. I use they, she pronouns.
My name's Elsie. I use she, her pronouns.
And it is just the two of us today. And today we are bringing you a special topics episode. May is Mental Health Awareness Month. So today we are going to be talking about some aspects of that, as well as a recommendation and a relationship goal tied to that. I can go ahead and start us off. Mine is going to be a little bit informal. It's actually going to talk about more a little bit personal side of it, but also like a celebrity, I guess. But I was going to talk about Demi Lovato. Uh, Man, I grew up watching Demi Lovato on Camp Rock. I actually never watched Princess Protection Program.
You haven't? That was a great movie.
So I've heard.
Selena Gomez is it.
So I never watched that, but I grew up watching her on that on Camp Rock. Was not Wizards of Waverly Place. That's so Sunny with a Chance.
Yeah. I didn't watch that, but it was Sunny with a Chance sounds right.
Yeah. And their show was That's So Random. That's so
No, wait, That's So Raven is a completely different show.
No, That's So Raven, but they have something a show within the show. Anyways. So grew up watching Demi Lovato, really liked her music growing up, kind of to this day. But I mean, so early on in her career, she was very open about self-harm, about her eating disorder, and also her mental health struggles. And she was diagnosed with bipolar disorder. So all these things. And I mean, she was a teenager. I was like a maybe preteen. I don't even know how far apart we are in age, but I just remember she was someone that I looked up to a lot. She was part of my day to day just because of music or TV. And I remember when that was going on, I was also going through similar things. I was actually hospitalized for disordered eating and also mental health concerns and self-harm. So I was like, whoa, like this celebrity is going through what I am literally going through. And it was so wild and it was really eye-opening. And there wasn't much. I mean, that was early on in her journey. But as she got older, um, she was like hospitalized, and now she has a documentary about her struggles, especially because then she's has been more open about her drug use, and things of that sort, maybe as a coping mechanism and all these things. But she's just been in the public eye for so long. I feel like not like she's my cousin or something or my neighbor, but I feel like I've been following her journey a lot. And so when I was younger, I looked up to her. I looked up to her aunt Selena Gomez for even just hair. So just like hair and style, which is so funny. And so when I realized that, it was almost like something in my mind switched. I was like, these are regular, oops, I almost cussed. Regular people. Like these are regular people battling the same things as I am, but they're in the limelight, and I cannot imagine being in the spotlight. And like when I was looking things up earlier, I don't know if it was like a few years ago or something, but it was talking about how she's been in inpatient treatment 5 times. I've only been in inpatient treatment once. No, I'm lying. Was it just once? Once, almost twice, I think. And have been going to therapy on and off for many years. And so I was just thinking, I was like, I don't know. I just always felt like a close connection to her, which is so wild. Like she don't know me. She doesn't know me. But that's what I wanted to talk about, really how I feel like she's not the only person who's been open about stuff like that. But for me, that was the almost like
The connection.
the connection that was like it can happen to anybody. I'm so happy that she has the resources to go like 5 times because that is not cheap. And even in the article that I was reading where they were talking about she was in there 5 times, uh Demi was talking about how she felt defeated every single time she went. Um and high key, like even to this day, when I have a really bad I'm gonna call them break episode, whatever, because one of my diagnoses is PTSD. I'm really good for a long time, and then someday Decembers are always hard for me, which is so random. I don't know why. Um, and like these past 2 Decembers have been great, but like the 3 Decembers ago now, it was so so bad, and dang, I'm back at square one, but that's not what it is, and that's kind of what she was saying in the article, is that she felt defeated going there, but she felt so relieved when she would leave, even though it's been 5 times. So, anyways, that is mine. Like I said, it's a little bit more informal. It's just my connection with it. Um, and so yeah, go ahead, Elsie.
Yeah, so mine is a little bit more formal than that. As you can see, well, if you're watching on YouTube, I have my computer here with my notes. But anyway, so this is an organization. It's called Project Healthy Minds. Um, and honestly, I think that it's just like a really good resource. They have like research that they've done. This one that I'm looking at here is like the state of mental health through millennials and Gen Zers. They have like really, I don't want to
Excuse
say
me.
like upsetting, but like kind of upsetting statistics. Like throughout the world, there's 615 million people who are living with a mental health condition. But of those people, like only 40% of them are getting any help. Um, and obvious like I feel like this is talked about a lot, but like suicide is the second leading cause of death for people that are 15 to 29 years old. And so like it gives like a recap of what the problem is. They also like have a little plan on how to like destigmatize it and all that. And they offer a crisis text line,
Mm.
and then have a whole page of resources. And then they also have a find support button that when you click on that, you can like type in your location, what diagnoses you have, and it will help you connect with therapists that like are in your insurance and all the things. So like it's a resource to help you find other resources, which I think is really cool. And they have like for the stigma part, they have a corporate coalition, which they have like a ton of big people in there. I was going to see if they have the names listed out somewhere that I can see them. But for that one, it's they help like implement mental health programs into different corporations.
Mm.
And then they also have the Trailblazers Collective, which from what I've gotten off of this is pretty much just like people giving them money to keep doing what they're doing type of thing. So it's more of
Oh,
like a fundraising
yeah.
situation.
Hmm.
And
Is it like
then
they're the funders and they give out grants type of situation, kind of?
other way around, it
Oh,
founded
oh, I
like
see.
it's a community of philanthropists shaping the new era of mental health. So like they work with the people that do give them money. So like if somebody gives the Project Healthy Minds money and is like, I want to sponsor a walk, they're like, okay, we'll put on a walk with this money type of thing. And then they also do brand partnerships. They have like a whole section of their team that's just for brand people that they like collaborated with oh my gosh, what's his name? It literally, one second, I'm gonna look at it again. Lululemon, Nespresso, and like they make like different little things for mental health awareness. So it's a resource in a resource in a resource, and I thought that that was really cool. Um, but if you guys are Project Healthy Minds watching this and wants to collaborate further, hit up the Happiness Project because those are also really cute. And I'm gonna drop a little plug for them right now too. Um, But the Happiness Project is like a clothing brand that a high schooler made when his friend in high school died by suicide after struggling with depression and anxiety. And so it started out of his basement, and he just did like tie dye things, like stuff that promoted positivity throughout everything. And then when he started selling out of those, then he moved on to like other kinds of sweatshirts um, and so they have like a little smiley face that the guy that died by suicide, his name was Nick. And so like there's a hat with like just a smiley face on it. It's like called the Nick Dad hat. And so there's
Oh.
stuff like named after him. But their clothes are really cute and they donate part of their proceeds to like suicide prevention and other mental health organizations. So yeah.
And I know it's just the two of us, and while you were talking, I was thinking about another resource. It's just two of us. We got to fill the space in for the other people. But another resource that I thought about a lot, and especially because back in prior to this position at the Advocacy Center, I was working in policy, and 988 was established,
Mm-hmm.
which replaced, I don't even know what the 1-800 number is. It's Logic made a
There's
song
yeah,
after. I
I
was
was
gonna
gonna say
say
the same
Logic
thing.
made a whole song about it, but it was like the suicide hotline. And now I was as you were talking, I was looking up their website, and I just remember doing a lot of like or following organizations that were doing a lot of like advocating around like expanding it here in Texas. But I think what I think is really, really cool is on their website, you can call them, you can text them, you can chat with them just like on the web browser. And they also have a resource for like deaf and hard of hearing just in case they need to sign. Yeah.
That's nice.
Um, and I thought it was just for like mental health struggles, but it says emotional distress, alcohol and drug use concerns, or someone you just need to talk to. And it says our caring counselors are here to for you. And so I just want to talk about that because I remember when it rolled out a while ago, people were like, we don't know about that. One of the biggest things that I worked with is like in policy is a lot of people, this is me going on my little soapbox on my little tangent, but a lot of people would go to the ER for like mental health concerns, but there's not a lot they can do there. I mean, they can do like a let's make sure medically like everything's okay and blah blah blah, and then we can take you where you need to be. But a lot of people would spend a bunch of time there, but also like then they would get billed and things like that. So and then sometimes their mental health concerns come from financial stress, all these things.
Right.
So they were just trying to put like information out there about 988. And then just like locally, we have like our MCOT, which is Mobile Crisis Outreach Team. I think we just got a YCOT, which is Youth Crisis Outreach Team. That's where people go out and meet them where they are, which the youth one is new, like really new. Um, and the mobile one, I don't know how long they've been doing it, but I think it's, I think we're headed the right way with meeting people where we're at. All that to say. So, I just wanted to add those resources.
Yeah. Well, that's why I when I found this that it was a resource
Resource
of
with,
resources,
yeah.
and I was like, this is awesome because like, especially when we go out to community events and things, like people are like, oh, that's so cool. I didn't know this was a thing, and like I feel like that's a lot of I don't want to say issue, but like issue kind of
No,
is that
yeah.
people just don't know what's available to them. And like even I did an internship at the public health district and there was so many different programs and things and I was like this would have been so beneficial for my mom if
Mhm.
like she had known about it when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And so I know I just love talking about resources with people so that
Yeah, and
they can get their share.
especially when it's like a all in one spot.
Yes.
So I know there's also like 211 Texas. That's I think that might be a
I
Texas
think that
thing.
is a Texas thing.
Yeah. But that's not just mental health. It's like if you
They
need to find a
connect you to
daycare,
any resource.
anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's having that all in one spot that is really helpful, especially like when we're specifically talking about mental health. Say you're genuinely in a crisis. you don't want to look at 27 tabs. And then the whole time they're like, oh, they don't take my insurance. Oh, there's a waiting list and blah blah blah. And that's a whole nother conversation. But yeah, and then so that's really what we have. It's just two of us today. But I do have the recommendation. Elsie has the relationship goal. And I can start off with the recommendation. It's actually something that I got for myself. It's a deck of cards, and they're called Hack Your Nervous System. It's like an anti-anxiety deck. And what I really like about these is that it's a deck of cards, but like, like the borders of it, I guess, like I don't know, the spines. I don't know what they're called. Um, they're all different colors. So there's like a yellow, orange, and purple, something like that. But it's like the level of anxiety. So say something like maybe you kind of feel anxious, but you're not necessarily fight or flight. You're just a little nervous. There's like really simple grounding things for that one. Then there's maybe like a little bit more urgent and then more urgent. Um, and it's just different. Um, but all colors represent each level, and then they just have different things. And it could be something like sensory, where it's like, is it like the five things you smell or see,
Yeah,
four things?
I can't remember what the order is,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
yes.
It'll be things like that. I remember one time I pulled one because I really got it. I was like, oh, it's so cute. But I was like, am I really gonna use it? But one day I was really tripping, but I wasn't to like the second level, right? I was like
Mhm.
still maybe first level. I was like, let me just pull a card before it gets to second or third level. And it was something like pick a song and just like dance in your room. And I was like, that seems so silly, but I guess I picked the card, I guess. And so I literally just like shook around and like I really just got that energy out. And so there's things like that. I've picked another one that was like just lay down and put like your hands on your chest and your belly and just like breathe. And so it's just really things like that. And I think we're gonna link it down in the description. But that was my recommendation. I used to
Wait, what
when
are they called? Sorry.
No, you're okay. It's called Hack Your Nervous System.
Okay.
And it's just a deck of cards. And I was gonna say, there was a point in my life where I was carrying them in my purse because I was needing them more often. But now I feel like it's given me so many different coping mechanisms. I don't need to carry them anymore, like square breathing or like literally literally touching grass and things like that. So it's been really nice. And they're also really, really cute. That's another little perk. But yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so the relationship goal is to find or not find, but like maybe think about who your safe person is. Um, can really be anybody. And then just have a quick little check-in and be honest about where you're at in life, where they're at in life, and just compare and contrast. Not compare and contrast. That sounds terrible, but like just open up about it and get each other's thoughts if you'd like them, or you can just talk and you don't have to listen to the other people either if you don't want to. But moral of the story: find your safe person and just have a little chit chat.
Yeah. And before we were recording, I was telling Elsie like it's easier said than done. And like even me, someone who's been in therapy and something, I remember talking to my therapist. I was like, you know what, girl? I don't talk to my friends. Actually, I don't talk about my stuff until I get into therapy. And rightfully so. My therapist is my therapist. That's what she's there for. My friends will not heal me and fix me, blah, blah, blah. And they can only do so much. But to be like, man, I'm struggling. Can we please go out to eat? Can we take a walk? Can we have karaoke night? Blah, 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 blah. Can we go like break some dishes? Things like that. Like having supports in that way. And having honestly, not accountability, but like having someone looking out for you too. Like I feel like when people know what's going on with you. Not that they're like treating you like a ticking time bomb, but it's really helpful when you have someone looking out for you and be like, let's go for a drive where you don't always have to just go to them and go to them and go to them type of thing. I hope that makes sense, but
This is gonna, sorry, I'm
no,
gonna,
go ahead, go ahead.
I was gonna say, this is gonna like kind of contradict what you just said, but like not really. I'm changing my relationship goal. The relationship goal is now to find your safe person and ask for what you need. So if you need to go on a car ride with them to do whatever, do that. If you want to sit in silence and color with them, do that too.
Yeah,
But don't be afraid to stand up for yourself.
that's good. No, that's good. And don't be scared to ask about what you need. You know what I'm saying? If I need to go shopping, that's me always want to go shopping. I'm gonna go shopping. Anyways, so that's everything for today. Like I said, it was just the two of us, so it's a bit of a shorter episode. But thank you so much for coming back. This is our last episode of the season. Yeah. And so we will be back with more. If you want to keep in touch, keep following us, stay up to date. You can follow us on Facebook and Instagram at advocacywaco. Not .com, Advocacy Waco. And then if you want to follow more prevention stuff, you can follow us on Instagram at ACCVC_prevention. Bye.
Thanks so much for tuning in to Real-ationship Goals. This episode was produced by the Prevention and Education Department of the Advocacy Center for Crime Victims and Children in Waco, Texas. Interested in more content from PNE or the Advocacy Center? You can follow us on Instagram at ACCVC_prevention or on Instagram and Facebook at Advocacy Waco. Be sure to like this episode and follow us wherever you get your podcasts. See you next time. Bye.